The Marvel Cinematic Universe Multiverse Saga is now seemingly over halfway through. Take a look at all the movies, shows, and special presentations we've gotten so far. We've had supernatural stories, street-level stories, global stories, and it's time to look back at the multiversal stories that contributed to the overall story of the saga. Chronologically speaking, we start things off with Loki. The Loki from the time heist of Avengers Endgame was caught by the TVA, the Time Variance Authority. They were in charge of protecting the sacred timeline, which is the MCU, the universe we all know and love, and they would prune any other branched timeline and universe that would try to start. By the end of Season 1, we would discover that a variant of Kang the Conqueror called He Who Remains was behind the TVA, and that he defeated his other variants and ended the multiversal war that threatened all existence. He wanted Loki and Sylvie to take over his role, but Sylvie declined, pushed Loki through a time door back into the TVA, and killed He Who Remains, thus starting the multiverse again. Season 2 starts immediately after, and we discover that He Who Remains had a fail-safe, which is the temporal loom. It's a device that takes all the branches of time and weaves them into one singular timeline, the sacred timeline. Loki, Obi, and Mobius try to expand the loom with the help of a new Kang variant, Victor Timely. But after many tries, Loki discovers that the only way to save all of existence and keep the multiverse alive is to destroy the loom and take its place. Loki saved the multiverse and gave Sylvie and everyone in it a chance to fight Kang and his variants and any other threat that may come. By starting the multiverse, every movie and show that was not produced by Marvel Studios can now exist within the multiverse. More on that later. Up next is What If. We explore the vast new realities of the multiverse with our guide, The Watcher. We met a group of Watchers in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but this is Uwadu the Watcher. Each episode featured either a new story or a spin on a familiar story, like Peggy becoming Captain Carter instead of Steve becoming Captain America. Season 1 ended with Infinity Ultron discovering the Watcher, fighting him in an epic battle and discovering the multiverse. This led to the Watcher forming the Guardians of the Multiverse. Season 2 ended with Strange Supreme going nuts in hopes of reviving his universe by collecting beings from every known universe. He was defeated by Captain Carter and Kahori in another epic battle. Back to Universe 616, we have WandaVision. Wanda is dealing with her grief, which leads to the creation of the Hex, where she could live her own ideal reality. This attracts Agatha Harkness, who wants to control Wanda's chaos magic. She tells Wanda that the Darkhold mentions that the Scarlet Witch's power exceeds that of the Sorcerer Supreme. They have a battle at the end of the season, and Wanda Maximoff fulfills her destiny and becomes the Scarlet Witch. In the post-credits scene, we discover that Wanda took the Darkhold and began reading it. Then we go to Spider-Man No Way Home. Peter Parker is dealing with the aftermath of Far From Home, where his secret identity is revealed by Mysterio. Peter goes to the Sanctum Sanctorum to meet Doctor Strange and ask him to cast a spell and make everyone forget that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Strange agreed to help, even though the Sorcerer Supreme Wong told him not to. As Strange was casting the spell, Peter kept adding conditions to it, which caused it to go wrong. Peter just dealt with a villain who claimed to be from the multiverse but was a fraud, and now he has to face villains from the actual multiverse. Instead of making people forget he is Peter Parker, the spell pulled in dead villains from the multiverse who know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker along with two other variants of Spider-Man. The three Spider-Mans, teamed up in one of the coolest and greatest team-ups of all time to fight the five villains and cure them. Strange casts a spell to return them all to their respective universes and make everyone forget that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, including Doctor Strange himself. This leads straight into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange is having nightmares, but what he has yet to discover is that those nightmares are the actual lives of his variants. He saves this universe-hopping girl called America Chavez, who escaped her universe because she is chased by monsters trying to steal her powers. Strange seeks the help of Wanda, and then he discovers that she is the one controlling these monsters to kill and steal Chavez's power, so she can get her kids back through the multiverse. She read the Darkhold, the Book of the Damned, and she is so deep in her grief that she can't be stopped. She attacks Kamartaj, Strange, and Chavez escape to Universe 838, where they meet the Illuminati. Scarlet Witch takes over the body of 838's Wanda, and she proceeds to kill the entire Illuminati except for Mordo, and destroy the Book of Vishanti. She kidnaps Chavez and sends Strange to an incursion-destroyed universe where he faces a Darkhold corrupted Strange. He kills him and uses his Darkhold to take over the body of a deceased Strange in his universe, 616, to stop Wanda. He fights Wanda, and America Chavez learns how to control her powers. And they manage to stop Wanda after she sees the fear in her kids' eyes after they saw the monster that she has become. In the end of the movie, Strange develops a third eye due to his use of the Darkhold, and in the mid-credits scene, he meets Clea, a sorcerer from the Dark Dimension, and she informs him that he has caused an incursion and that he must help her to stop it. Next in the timeline, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp and their family get pulled into the quantum realm after Cassie creates a device that sends a signal to it. They were pulled in by Kang the Conqueror and Darren Cross, aka Yellow Jacket, who Kang saved and is now MODOK. What Janet didn't tell her family is that she knew Kang helped him rebuild his power core and get his powers back before enlarging his multiversal power core to stop him after discovering what he truly is. The Ant family fights Kang along with an army of intelligent ants that have lived for numerous years, thousands of years, due to the quantum realm and a MODOK that Cassie managed to flip. They stop Kang temporarily before Kang and Ant-Man have a final fight. With an assist from the Wasp, Kang is sucked into the power core, seemingly killing him. Is he truly dead? The movie ends with Scott doubting if he did the right thing or was killing Kang a move that will doom the entire multiverse. In the mid-credits scene, we see a group of Kangs, a dynasty, who banished the Conqueror to the quantum realm, led by Immortus, celebrating the Conqueror's death, getting ready to execute their plan of taking over the multiverse. This Kang the Conqueror that Ant-Man seemingly killed had the vision to kill his other variants to stop them from destroying all of existence. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same vision of He Who Remains. So Ant-Man just killed that time loop, and now we're only left with the maniacal Kangs. In the final battle of the Marvels, Dar-Ben uses both quantum bands to create a jump point between her planet Hala and the Sun, but the power of both bands was so strong that it destroyed her and tore a hole in reality between our universe and another. Monica Rambeau goes to the other side of the hole to seal it, while Carol and Kamala energize her from the 616 side. She successfully seals the hole, but is left stranded in that universe. In the mid-credits scene, Monica wakes up next to her mother Maria, but she comes to realize that Maria doesn't recognize her. And in that universe, Maria is binary, which is one of the aliases of Captain Marvel, and is a member of the X-Men. Beast is there, and he says we should inform the professor. Beast is played by Kelsey Grammer. So is Monica stranded on Earth 10,005? Speaking of Earth 10,005, the final multiversal story we got so far is Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool changed the timeline a couple of times using Cable's device, and in one of those times he ended up on Earth 616 and wanted to join the Avengers. Happy Hogan declined his request, and he returned to Earth 10,005 while they were celebrating his birthday. The TVA came knocking. Agent Paradox informed him that his universe is decaying because the anchor being of his universe, Wolverine, has died in the events of Logan. He offered to transport him to Earth 616, but that meant leaving his friends, family, and Vanessa behind. Paradox intends to use a time ripper to end the universe quickly instead of waiting for thousands of years. Deadpool steals the time pad and sets out to find a new Wolverine to replace his universes as an anchor being. After meeting a couple of Wolverines throughout the multiverse, he finally manages to get one back to the TVA, but they were both pruned and sent to the void. There they met Chris Evans, who they thought was Captain America, but was instead Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four. Then they were confronted by Sabretooth, Toad, and Pyro from previous X-Men movies. They were taken to their leader, Cassandra Nova, who is Professor X's twin. She was pruned at a very early age. They managed to escape, but Johnny wasn't so lucky. After some time, they meet X-23, Blade, and Elektra from previous Marvel films, as well as Gambit from a film that was never made.
I'm about to make a name for myself here.
They team up against Cassandra and her goons. Their plans succeed. They jump into a portal after sparing Cassandra's life. Deadpool and Wolverine intend to stop Paradox and his Time Ripper, but they are confronted by Cassandra, who finds out from Pyro about the capabilities of the Time Ripper and intends on using it herself to destroy not only Universe 10,005, but every other universe until there's only the Void. Deadpool and Wolverine fight off the Deadpool Corp, who work for Cassandra, and successfully stop the Time Ripper and save their universe. B-15 informs Deadpool that his actions saved his universe and it's no longer decaying. Deadpool asks B-15 to save his friends from the Void. She says she'll see what she can do. Wolverine decided to stick around in this universe, and in the end of the movie, Laura X-23 was seen with them on the dinner table, indicating that B-15 saved Deadpool's friends from the Void. Those are the stories we got so far in the Multiverse Saga. As far as the future, we know that Fantastic Four First Steps takes place in the 60s in another universe, and that the saga will culminate with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Robert Downey Jr. will return to play Dr. Victor Von Doom from an alternate universe in Avengers Doomsday. There are rumors that every project between the two Avengers films will take place on Battleworld. Will we see the return of Kang? One thing we know for sure is that Russo brothers don't miss when it comes to Marvel movies. They directed Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. Let's hope they stick the landing again and satisfy us with the closure of this saga.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos and shorts from the Hero Times.